love a bit of S Club 7. This is my Sarah Jane Adventures Series 5 review, the final series of the Sarah Jane Adventures before Elizabeth Sladen died. If you're interested in watching any of the other videos as part of my Doctor Who marathon, click up in the corner now and there'll be a link to every single one of them, all put in a playlist ready for you. So I'll start at the beginning of the series with Skye. I've actually never watched anything as part of Series 5 of Sarah Jane before, so this is all new to me. That metal guy looked oddly like a metal Batman. If somebody left a baby on my doorstep, I would be fucked. How did nobody at that crash site see that big trail of footprints? The homeless fella made me chuckle. Obviously he was quite funny, even if he was kind of comic relief. Miss Myers made me laugh when she said, "We don't spell it the same way." Something else that was quite funny was the way that Mr. Smith was shitting himself around Skye because he was scared that she was going to blow his circuits. Why must it be Mrs. Myers or Miss Myers that deactivates Skye? They never make that clear. They just sort of be like, well, it has to be the creator. Why? They really didn't put enough emphasis on just how powerful nuclear power stations can actually be. It was very convenient how Skye just ended up deactivating anyway, just by chance, after all that shit went down. It's such a shame that we never actually get to find out more about that bloke with the parrot. Overall, the story was alright, nothing special for me, to be honest. The Curse of Clyde Langer. I think the actual story of this, the fact that Clyde loses everyone just because of his name, is a very interesting concept. I'm not sure what relevance the raining fish had. The whole plot is really sad just because Clyde is this character that's been built up since the first episode of Series 1. Well, the second episode of Series 1 if you want to count it like that. But he's been, since Series 1 for like 5 series, his character's been more and more developed to the point where in the penultimate story that he's in, his life has fallen apart for absolutely no reason other than the fact that his name is cursed. How did that bloody woman at the museum remember Clyde's name? The cliffhanger at the end of part 1 was a bit silly, the fact that Clyde just went off with a homeless girl and that was it. I feel like they developed Clyde and Ellie's relationship very well over just like 20 minutes. Probably less than 20 minutes. The fact that they focused on homelessness was very deep, I think, for a kids show. Obviously they wouldn't go into the more serious sides of it, like drug addiction and crime and stuff like that, but for a kids show they went into it quite deep. It's only a little thing, but the fact that Clyde had to burn one of his comics just to make fire for heat for him and Ellie, it was very sad. I suppose it was just the music that made it sad. I think the ending was really emotional, the fact that Clyde never got to see Ellie again. It was sort of a tragedy. It was a great story. I loved it. It's probably one of my favourites of all time as part of the Sarah Jane Adventures. I'm glad I ended up watching this series. The Man Who Never Was. It's great that Luke is in the final episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures. He was in the first one back in 2007. So it's only fitting for him to be in the final story, the story that ends it all. The surfboard looks shit. I'll just stick to my MacBook instead of that crap. Sarah was hardly subtle during the most awkward interview ever. How lucky that Luke just happened to know the code to get to the lower basement sort of thing where all those Cyclops things were. Talking about the Cyclops things, the fact that they were controlling everything that Mr. Surf was doing, it was kind of like Inside Out, that sort of thing. I think it's called Inside Out. I haven't watched the film, but I think that's the one where they have all the like people inside someone's head controlling everything they're doing. It was a bit like that and it was a bit silly, very childish it felt. You just want to give that Harrison guy a swift left hook to the face, or a right hook, either will do, or a kick in the head, whatever. I feel like the last 2 episodes, Curse of Clyde Langer and The Man Who Never Was, have both explored very adult themes. Obviously in Curse of Clyde Langer we had homelessness, and in The Man Who Never Was we had slavery. 2 very adult things and 2 very real things as well, which is surprising to see them cover in such a child-friendly show. Sarah disguising herself as a cleaner really reminded me of the Third Doctor in The Green Death. I really like how the way they stopped the villain in this story, Harrison. I'm really glad they stopped Harrison, not with convenience, not with a sonic device, but with intelligence, and the fact that We had all these different, we had the main characters all doing their own little different jobs that really helped out defeat Harrison in the end. It wasn't the best story to go out on, I must admit, but they did a very good job of making it the last episode. Obviously they didn't manage to get the rest of the series done, which would have been really interesting to see. I've actually been reading up and sort of researching about what would have actually happened for the rest of Series 5. But I feel like this is a fitting end for the series, to be honest. It was very sad. The ending actually made me cry, and I'm a heartless bastard, but there's some little things like this that really get to me. And obviously this is one of them, the sort of the compilation of some of the best bits of the Sarah Jane Adventures at the end, with Sarah's voiceover. It was beautiful, and it's really sad. It's heartbreaking, the fact that they had to finish such a successful series just because of that. To be honest, I feel like if she was still here today, the series would still be going on. It was very popular, especially for kids. Anyway, that's the series in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously that's Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures complete now. I've watched all of them. So my next review is going to be Series 7A of Doctor Who. I'm going to get through the rest of Matt Smith's era, then Series 8, Series 9, and then I've got Class Series 1 and Doctor Who Series 10 left. And after that, I'm done, ready to start Series 11. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I've seen amazing things out there in space. But strange things can happen wherever you are. I have learned that life on Earth can be an adventure too.